We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Fallout from the Defense Secretary. The Labor Department changes the rules on gig workers, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin had an operation to treat prostate cancer in December and was returned to the hospital on New Year's Day due to complications from the minimally invasive surgery. Doctors at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center said in a statement Tuesday. After Austin was readmitted for nausea and severe abdominal, hip, and leg pain, doctors discovered he had a urinary tract infection. The Pentagon confirmed Tuesday that Austin had kept his medical issues secret. Nobody in the White House, including President Biden and Austin's stand-in Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hicks, knew about his hospitalization for several days, prompting criticism for a lack of transparency. Austin failed to notify anyone that he was undergoing surgery and was under anesthesia. If any member of the armed services under his command had done this, they would have been charged with going AWOL. President Biden first learned of Austin's prostate cancer on Tuesday, the same day as the public and a month after the diagnosis. For a situation like this to go on as long as it did without the commander-in-chief knowing about it, or the National Security Advisor knowing about it, or frankly other leaders at the Department of Defense. That's not the way this is supposed to happen. The president understands that, White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said. White House Chief of Staff Jeff Zientis released a memo earlier Tuesday to the president's cabinet concerning protocols for delegating authority. It asks that every cabinet agency submit in writing their current existing protocols for a delegation of authority they have in place for review to the White House's Office of Cabinet Affairs and the Chief of Staff by Friday. U.S. and British warships on Tuesday shot down the biggest barrage of drones and missiles fired at commercial ships in the Red Sea from Houthi-controlled areas in Yemen. The Iranian-backed Houthi militia has targeted vessels in the Red Sea to disrupt global trade in a show of support for Hamas in its war against Israel. The United States and Britain said U.S. fighter jets from the aircraft carrier Dwight D. Eisenhower and 4 other warships blocked the complex attack, which included 18 drones, 2 anti-ship cruise missiles, and an anti-ship ballistic missile. Houthi attacks have forced major shipping companies to reroute vessels, causing delays and added costs for oil and other goods. The Labor Department on Tuesday issued a final rule requiring companies to treat workers as employees, not independent contractors, if they are economically dependent on the company. Business groups are likely to challenge the change. The rule could increase labor costs for companies that rely heavily on contractors and freelancers, including trucking firms, healthcare groups, and app-based gig services. Studies indicate that employees can cost businesses 30% more than independent contractors, according to Reuters. The Labor Department said the rule would boost enforcement against businesses that misclassify workers as contractors to save money. The rule could also cripple ride-sharing services, food delivery services, and curtail the income of thousands of gig workers. The Securities and Exchange Commission said Tuesday that somebody posted a fake message to its X social media account, claiming it had approved exchange-traded funds for Bitcoin. The regulator said it has not yet approved ETFs involving the digital currency, as the crypto industry desperately wants. The SEC said it would work with law enforcement to investigate the hack. X, formerly Twitter, confirmed the account had been briefly accessed by an unidentified individual through a phone number associated with it through a third party. The social media site owned by Elon Musk said the SEC had not enabled two-factor authentication, and a preliminary investigation indicated the hacker didn't breach X's systems. Trump lawyer D. John Sauer urged the D.C. Circuit to toss special counsel Jack Smith's case against the former president on charges he plotted to overturn the 2020 election. Sauer told the three-judge panel that a former president can't face criminal prosecution for official acts unless first impeached by the House and convicted by the Senate. The judges signaled skepticism and appeared struck at times by the sweep of his immunity claim. After the hearing, Trump said that denying him immunity would cause bedlam in the country. Nearly 2,000 migrants being sheltered in a tent shelter in New York City are being transferred to a nearby high school where the students will have to pivot to remote learning due to the disruption it's causing, sparking outrage from residents and local politicians. New York City Mayor Eric Adams' office said it is moving 1,900 migrants from the tent shelter at Floyd Bennett Field for safety reasons due to incoming storms and potential high winds. Adams told reporters that it was being done out of an overabundance of caution. The tent shelter was erected on a runway where tents were not properly secured. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.